What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 49 of Unfiltered. I'm your host, ChanManV. Joining me today, as always, is Destiny. Back from Copenhagen's Richard Lewis. And the first timer today, we got Cody Connors, a.k.a. Evoli, in the house. What's up, fellas?
Well, I'm fucking so tired, man. Like, I hope no one is expecting me to carry like any topic of conversation, because I'm going to be about as excitable as Dyrus after a fucking shot of Thorazine. Like, I am absolutely beat. So hopefully someone can rustle Destiny's jimmies.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Let's talk about Eve. Let's just do an Eve special.
Uh-oh, people saying that it's cracking. Shit. Let me see.
God damn it, ChanMan.
There's always something fucking wrong. Hold on.
It's whenever I turn up, this bug happens now. It did it last week as well.
Did it? What did we
do? Do you remember when you did the show and I was like, I had to get away because I had to spend some time with my girlfriend, like just to kind of vaguely keep that relationship alive before she just gets rid of me altogether, you know?
All right, let me see what it sounds like first. I don't hear the crackling, guys, so it's only on the damn stream. Let me see.
It's whenever I turn up, this bug happens.
Is it just when I talk, I guess?
Week.
It must be just when I talk.
They're pretty far behind, is what it looks like, so...
Maybe it's not crackling. Maybe we've just been trolled, man. Fuck it.
Are we getting trolled? Fuck, man. I mean, I don't want it to be... Yeah, okay.
Sounds fine.
Damn
intro.
you guys, you bastards! I'm so gullible, man. So gullible.
Strong introduction.
Yeah, exactly. All right, starting out with some Sapinda talk, since we didn't... we had it planned for the beginning of last show, and then I had some crazy Twitch production kind of things, so we couldn't get you on, Richard, unfortunately. But understand, you gotta spend some quality time with the lady or the missus.
Yeah, nudge, wink, wink. Am I right? No, there was no quality time spent. I'm too old for that now. There's just, I do the washing up on occasion. That's like the most romantic gesture I can muster.
Yeah. All right, so Sapinda talk. You released an article on Esports 7. Let me link it to everybody here, and it was basically just, reporting what's already available on the internet, right? About the folks behind Sapinda.
Right, so I mean, this is the standard thing in esports, yeah? Information is readily available. Everyone knows it. Everyone in the esports fraternity talks about it. No one mans up and does the responsible thing and publishes it. Like, welcome to esports journalism, people. The idea that this was some big secret or big expose, I explicitly state in the article that all this is fucking Google journalism, and it had to be, because I know Sapinda have got the fucking money to just sue my ass if I say anything that's even vaguely my own thoughts on the matter. There was no room for any kind of form of editorial discussion. It had to absolutely just be the facts of what was out there.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to do. And the thing is, I got turned on to this. Like, people were always saying to me, like, "Oh, Rich, you know about these Sapinda people," and I'm like, "Yeah, I heard a couple of the names, and I know that they're into some, kind of, what's the word? There's been some accusations of insider trading aimed at some of them and things like that." And everyone was like, "Well, when are you going to write about it?" Like, because I am the one guy, right? Like, everyone comes to me with all their shit. I mean, like, for a week I've been in Copenhagen trying to focus on that event, and I'm just getting a message like, "Oh, what about the Hearthstone subreddit? Why aren't you fixing this?" It's like, it's become this fucking millstone around my neck. Like, I cannot fix all of these problems. But anyway, I took the Sapinda thing on because I thought, we need to be fucking transparent about where all this money is coming from, if it's going to come into esports. And, fucking shame on gamers. I'll say this out loud and proud, because shame on gamers, because I'm pretty sure they fucking knew about it. Right, like, and if you look at the On Gamers articles that they have written about the Sapinda group, they do kind of read a little bit like PR. Like Kim Rom kind of steps up and takes charge of the articles. Like, no, can't have a William Turton going rogue on this one, people. It's got to be handled by Kim Rom. So I think shame on them, because if they're the fucking creme de la creme of esports journalism, then why the fuck is Googling a few links and presenting the fucking facts beyond them? So, I love you guys. I love all of the staff there, but that you should have been the guys to break the story, not my old wrinkly ass. So yeah, anyway.
Well,
so
Well,
Yeah, go on.
Cody, what do you think of that? So, for those who don't know Cody, not in the industry, don't know Cody. Cody is actually former general manager of Evil Geniuses and was recently managing editor on Gamers. So he is no longer with On Gamers. So these comments about On Gamers, Cody, what's your I guess reply to that?
I think, I mean, objectively, like Richard's right. The Kim went to the ESGN launch and did that interview, and then he did the interview with Ian Sharp. And he's again right that no one covered it on Gamers.
But they all knew.
Well, I mean, he definitely knew about it because that fucking interview he did with Ian Sharp or whatever the fuck.
He addresses the rumors, yeah.
Yeah, he addresses the rumors.
I think and it was an interesting interesting way to phrase the question too, because he was like, can you comment on these rumors, what was alleged, and he sort of dismisses it. Ian was pretty quick to sidestep that question. It was a very fluffy interview. Yeah.
I haven't seen sidestepping that good, outside of the fucking NFL. Like
strafe.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And again, like if the opportunity is there to dig for the information and to ask people face to face, I think again you've got to put it down. Some poor reportage. Like I think it's a real shame. It's a real shame that I know. I kind of almost feel like the most important esports website right now, it is On Gamers. I got nothing but respect for how they've gone all in on esports coverage, and I really want them to succeed, because I think if they don't, it's going to be a long time before anyone comes and throws that kind of money and resources and time at esports journalism again. Certainly it's taken this long since the Gottfrag era, right, to see a serious website. But the whole tiptoeing around Sapinda thing's just not cool. Like, they're going to be major players in the industry. They've been involved in the industry before with the Azubu Azubu Volume 1, Version 1, debacle. We've got photos of Lars Windhorst giving, trophies out at these events and shit, and it's all been kind of hushed up. That's the same people that are involved. And I say it every time I come on the show and have to justify what I do. Transparency is the best thing for esports. If people want esports to grow, we need transparency, because the only reason that we have all of these problems that set us back is the lack of transparency. It's an unregulated industry. There's no regulatory body. There's no one with legal experience or the resources to go and get legal experience. And that's why we get these companies coming in to invest in it, because they know they can just cut and run if everything goes wrong. And someone's got to fucking get it on the record so it doesn't keep happening over and over again.
Well, I mean, so you did write this article, and it was really great. A lot of people enjoyed it and read it and was, educated a little bit more about what, who these guys are. But in the end, is anybody caring? Like, are you seeing folks just saying, turning down any offers from any of these organizations that Sapinda is backing right now?
Well, the money is just so scarce in esports. I think that's what really makes it it's
I was gonna say this is like an Econ 101 situation. Like, people respond predictably to economic incentive. I mean, whether or not the money is bad, I mean, fuck, there's no money in esports. There's very, very little money unless you're at the very top. And if you have the opportunity to do a cash grab like that, even if they know it's bad, people will go for it. It doesn't matter how many articles you put out or how many times history repeats itself. Most people would say it's even worth it. If they do a cash grab now and it ends up, crashing and burning, as long as they cashed out, then they can just be signed and wait for the next, cash and grab to come along.
Yeah, if you lose your esports job in a year because all of this is just a tremendous fraud, it doesn't matter because you weren't making any
you're
money
just banking
anyway.
on.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, well, in regards to you, Steven, I mean, if Azubu TV came to you, you kind of went through that.
Azubu TV did go to him.
Yeah, I mean,
hypothetically,
it's a really difficult thing because my relationship with Twitch is already probably a little bit rockier than it would. I had an amazing relationship with Twitch before I left, and now it's still pretty good. I don't think they hate me, or at least most of them don't. But I mean, obviously, leaving to own and then coming back, everything is a little bit different now. If I were to do that again, I'm pretty sure that would be really bad. So. I mean, there's another thing to think too. Twitch is really good when it comes to stability. That's Twitch's forte. Over anything else is stability. But I mean, if somebody like Azubu can roll along and just grab a whole bunch of people over from Twitch, I think it speaks to a couple of Twitch problems as well. Things I echo every other week how the ad revenue is so bad or whatever, and it's easy to kind of blow that off. But I don't know, it's really hard to make money on Twitch right now unless you're a really big person. You've got external ways of generating revenue.
Yeah, which we've gone over ad nauseum. But
Well, Destiny's been swayed once with a big signing bonus.
Yeah.
I think staying on Twitch for a lot of people is going to make most sense. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about it. I mean, look, here's the thing.
Well,
The,
but I
the,
mean, a lot of people have already switched though. I mean,
yeah, but I
Artosis
mean,
A
and
like,
lot, sort of
I
a
don't know about a lot of people,
yeah.
but certain people, yes, have already made
people have
deals with
switched.
those guys. And
Yeah.
Here's the thing: we've got no idea, like long term, how successful the second sort of wave of Azubu is going to be. And this was another point I wanted to make in the article, which was, these people. Right, when something's unsuccessful and it's not going to see a return for them, they'll keep throwing money at it to a point, and then they'll say, "Well, fuck it, we'll just declare ourselves bankrupt. We'll change this company name, and we'll go for something else, and we'll try again." And they've got a long history of basically, kind of crapping out, if you like, when the chips are down and something ceases to be profitable. This is obviously an issue when you're in a very weird and fluctuating marketplace, like esports, and perhaps a marketplace they don't truly understand, which is why they're throwing money at these people. And again, to be honest, I see some of the people they brought on board. They've gone with the wrong people. Like, if they're looking for wise esports heads to guide a ship, these guys, a lot of them are fucking perennial failures. They've never been successful in esports, let alone anything else. And these guys are getting massive paychecks thrown at them. So they might want to think about that strategy. Like, don't get me wrong. Hey, Sapinda, if you end up watching this, I got some sympathy for you all, right? Like, just give the money to the right people. Like, if you're
Richard.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm not even talking about myself, but like there are people out there who have a clue, and there are people out there who don't have a fucking clue. And right now, I feel we're more in column B, and the money shouldn't be going there. That's one of the other problems in esports. We give money to fucking idiots over and over again,
Well, okay,
and they fuck up, and they just get more money, and everyone wonders why we build nothing.
Okay, so let's just look at let's look at the organizations that Sapinda is basically backing right now, right? We're talking about that ESGN studio, we're talking about GM, and we're talking about Zubu. So which of these three things do you think are going to be the most successful thing for them?
I think Azubu has the clearest business model, right? That has the, working with like as an agency, it's very difficult, and the people who run Gem Agency haven't said exactly what their business model is. Do they work like a traditional agency where for every dollar they get 10%, or is it sort of like an Evil Geniuses thing where like you're on a salary and you have these opportunities, but we sort of own you, so like we leverage you being a part of our organization to get money.
Yep.
And I think ESGN is just hemorrhaging money. Yeah.
So 34 million. How long is that going to last?
Well, if in Azubu's hands, I actually think. I mean, look, I actually think Azubu can be successful. The technology it's got behind it, with being Bright Cove video, it's very good. You're not going to get any lag. It's going to look awesome. They're throwing money at the streamers right now. I know they're looking at ways that they can start helping those guys, generate revenue and deliver ads and that kind of thing and grow the brand. They're bringing in, some top talented streamers who, okay, maybe they're there for a cash grab, maybe they're not. I'll let the people decide on that one. But Azubu has the clear runaway most chance of being successful, and I think that 34.5 million that they've got, I think if they channel it the right way, then they absolutely can still be here 2 years from now. I think they can give Twitch a run for their money. I'm not sold on ESGN still being here in 2 years. I mean, again, I think it's got problems. I think people are already starting to identify what those problems are. And again, all of my sources tell me that they are losing money hand over fist, and chances are we're going to double down on Azubu, and we'll just see what happens with ESGN. Not that anyone will lose a job or anything, because it's all Sapinda funded, and that, the machinations, the network will close around, and those guys will end up probably working for Azubu in some capacity anyway, because that's, the beautiful nepotism and cronyism of esports at work. So I think Azubu have definitely got the most chance of success. And of course, where the Gem Agency is in this is ultimately just there to sort of position talent across the Sapinda-funded projects.
What do you think about the synergy? Like, it's apparent now that they're trying to. I mean, like, all of these organizations work with one another, and I've only ever done esports, so I actually don't know how it works in real business. But I don't do it. I mean, like, you're not boys with every other company that is funded by the same VC in the normal world, right? That's kind of weird.
Actually, I think, isn't that exactly how it works in the normal world? There are like 6 large organizations that own like everything, like
Google and
Fox Corp,
Oh, you're
I
talking
don't
about
mean
you're
like
talking
I don't mean like
content-wise,
big
like
corporation, but I mean like if you get 30 mil, which is like a drop in the bucket, in the like when it actually comes to business. From a VC, I don't think it's implied that the VC wants you to really be patting every other company that the VC funds on the butt. So what do you think about that synergy? Because like if you look at all the gem
yeah,
agency
it's
players,
kind
like
of in a
all of
cycle.
them are over,
Yeah.
all of them are on Azubu.
Mm.
ESGN's still streaming on Twitch though, which is actually kind of interesting. Do they stream on Azubu? Do they have both streams running at the same time? I only ever catch them on Twitch.
I've only seen it on Twitch too. That's, I actually didn't even think about that until you just mentioned that.
Is that like an inherent sort of acknowledgement of like this like weird lack of faith? It's just very weird. But like, what do you think about these?
It's not necessarily a lack of faith, more so an acknowledgement that everybody knows right now that Twitch is more now than just a place where you go to watch streams. It's actually a hub for viewers now. So like if you want viewers, you have to be on Twitch. They don't come external of Twitch anymore. Now like all the viewers are on Twitch looking.
Can you imagine the ESGN viewership if it wasn't on Twitch?
So like it's not surprising to me that they would be on
terrible.
Twitch because of like the two large like I guess public facing things they have, which is ESGN and Azubu. They can't stream Azubu on Twitch. That doesn't make sense. So ESGN has to be here to route viewers from Twitch to Azubu or to try to raise awareness of Azubu via the Twitch platform.
I get what you're saying though, Cody. Like basically, there's a lot of fraternization kind of going on here, where basically the money is just staying in this circle to some extent, right? And how often does that happen actually in real business? I don't think it happens to some degree, but to this extent, I don't think it's quite to this extent normally. I mean, of course, if you're a VC and you have multiple companies, you're going to want them to be helping each other, right?
Yeah.
Fully funding each other? No. I mean, you want sustaining businesses. You want separate sustaining businesses in their own right. But to begin, to start off, it's not that bad of a plan to help each other kind of get going and create whatever viewer base or that sort of thing and helping each other do that. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's what I would want to do as well. And obviously, like, I think all the people sort of pulling on the Sapinda tit, obviously, like, are pretty close. So it makes sense. That actually might not have anything to do with the Sapinda money whatsoever. It might make sense. Like, they all might have gone to Sapinda just because they sort of knew one another and they would have done business with one another regardless.
Yeah. I mean, if they're only keeping it in-house, I think that's a bad idea. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, GM, right? They're staff. I mean, they're an agency. They represent people, and they're only keeping it within that. I think that's a bad idea because, again, you want to grow the businesses, separately, and you should be open to anybody and that sort of thing. But overall, I don't know. Again, I don't think it's so bad. But I think I agree too. I think I agree that Azubu is probably their best play right now.
I think the most worrying thing about all of this is the paper trail, in the sense that the companies are all listed to as being owned by other companies, so they're all like subsidiaries. And then when you've got someone like Kim Seok Ki involved with it, who for those that didn't read the article, is the guy who is I believe still hasn't faced justice for setting up shell companies to evade paying large amounts of corporate tax. Basically, there's a worry there when you see other companies being listed as owning, Azubu or whatever. So,
I see.
And then that's what I'm worried about. It's like, okay, it's not if they come into the industry and they try and they fail, because ultimately, if you make somebody sign a contract and you try and you fail, they're still protected by the contract. The issue I've then got is if there's some like mad convoluted paper trail and there's no transparency about who actually has to pay you your fucking money, and certainly preliminary investigation would make you believe that there is this convoluted paper trail even now with the newly reformed Azubu and whatnot. So hopefully what they can do to alleviate some of the community's concerns is to, kind of make things, again, transparency, that word again, because otherwise, if they do fail and someone's like, well, it's okay, I'm owed 6 month money. Yeah, well, Azubu don't actually employ you. This subsidiary company called SYSK Limited do, or, and then it's RNTS Media or another company that the Hertzovs and Seok Ki's involved in. And it's like, who actually owes you the fucking money? And by the time you found that out, you just ain't getting your money. And that's happened time and time again in esports, People with a little bit of business savvy about how to game the system come in and rip people off. And I'm not even saying the Sapinda guys are looking to do that this time, but we should be fucking wary given the facts.
there have been instances in the past too, like CGS, where big influxes of money failing pretty tremendously have actually sort of maybe
Hurt the scene.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a detriment.
Mhm.
Not even a sort of maybe, but it's just been a detriment.
Sure.
But again, like you can't expect everybody not to. We were just talking about the economics thing. These people are still gonna jump at the money, right? And can you blame them for jumping at the money?
I mean,
I
you
think-
can.
Yeah, sorry. Go on,
Okay,
Stephen.
go for it, Steven.
I was gonna say you can, but I mean, it's like you understand why. Like if you were to walk home, like say you walk home, right? You're married or whatever for 15 years. You walk home and you find your wife in bed with like 17 other black dudes, or any race. I guess it doesn't matter. You find them like, and it's like fucked up, and you like end up killing her. Like you wouldn't necessarily like you wouldn't say the guy is right in doing it, but like you might be able to understand. Like it's like that kind of a thing. Like I mean, you could probably make moral or ethical or like long-term health for the scene reasons on why you shouldn't go after a cash grab. But in terms of like, will people actually do that? Like, no. I mean, people are just going to go for the easy money. And you would always expect people to do it, and you should always expect people to do it, because to expect every single person in some system to act in some utilitarian, mindset is completely and totally unrealistic.
Right.
I think the main problem I've got is, though, again, when they go for the cash grab, it's like it's always the people that are talking about the sustainability and awesomeness of esports that go for the cash grab. They all right. And
Well,
it's
yeah,
like,
but when people talk about the sustainability and bullshit like that, like most of those people are just telling people what they want to hear. Like for the most part, that's
but
everybody.
Everyone that we kind of respect in the fucking scene has done it at one time or another, and I think that's the problem, because what they're actually doing is their actions betray that they have no confidence in the sustainability or the
Yeah, of
potential
course.
growth of esports, because they're going for the first fucking big check that gets dangled. And I can totally understand it. I've slugged away in an industry for 10 years. I have never really had that like big glorious payday. I don't really have a lot of status or presence in the scene. I still get it every week when I come on and fucking Unfiltered. Who's this Richard Lewis guy? Isn't he a Jewish comedian? Like, because your material's so fucking awesome, you Reddit fucks. But the point is that I can understand someone like myself taking a fucking cash grab, because they've got that. But a lot of the time, the people don't even do the principled thing. It's not even like, oh well, should I? And then like, they just go straight for it. Yeah, fucking sign me up. What am I gonna do? Suck Satan's dick? No problem. I'm there. I'm on my knees and I'm already sucking. Like. And that's the problem we've got in esports. People just literally drop to their knees and suck the corporate dick as soon as they hear an unzipping of flies. And I just like to see people at least take a little bit fucking longer before they perform that, act of financial fellatio.
Well, you should go easy on Reddit, because I think they like this article enough that you bought yourself like a week before they're back to trying to throw you a stir. I think
No.
you've got like a little bit of time, man.
It just takes Richard responding to a comment on Reddit, and then they start.
I think one of the things that the viewers need to be cognizant of is like the idea and mantra that there's just sort of like this unifying esports concept that like maybe we're all